Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Shimmer Reach. I'll be doing the top 22 books I hope to read in 2022. So before I get started, if you're new to this channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below as well as hit the notification bell. But I am so excited to get through these 22 books. I actually tried to have like a variety of genres this time because I feel like if it was just up to me, there's a very good chance, like it was really easy for me to just pick only fantasies, so I forced myself to pick other books as well. So I have some contemporaries, I have some romances, I even have like one or two historical fictions, so I definitely tried to like give a range here, but primarily though most of them are still fantasy, but still at least I tried to have some variety in here as well. So I'm very excited to go through all these books, and hopefully I will actually read these books, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video at the end of the year. I'm not entirely sure yet, but yeah, I'm excited to get started. So the first book that I'm hoping to get into this year is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This has been a book that has been discussed multiple times. There are many books in the series, but I am just going to pick up the first one hopefully, and I mean obviously if I enjoy it I'm going to read the rest of the series and just binge read it, but my goal here is to read the book that I am picking specifically, and I'm excited for it. Like I said, I've heard so many things. I cannot wait. Are just like super cute. The romance is like kind of steamy-ish. I think I feel like for the past year or so the trend has definitely been more gearing towards romance books, so I feel like a lot more romances have been popping up on my radar, and you know, this has been one for the past year or two, so I'm very excited for it. Then this next one is Love Boat Taipei. This is one that I was debating about because I don't know, I've heard like mixed things, but I feel like for me there is some sort of like personal link to this because I've actually been on Love Boat Taipei. Not like, okay, so it's called OCAC in Taiwan, so I'm Taiwanese, and so there's some sort of government program where if you are like part Taiwanese, like someone in your family, like your mom or your dad or both are Taiwanese, you can actually sign up for these government run programs called OCAC, and so they're very, very affordable. I think it's like at most like $500, and it's for like 3 to 4 weeks or so, between 2 to 4 weeks, and you have all your room and board. You have food in there as well, and I did 2 of them. So I did one of them when I was 18 years old going to college, so I did it for that summer, and I did one my freshman year in college, so I did it for 2 years. And the first one that I did was Love Boat Taipei, but it was like the junior version because everyone there was just like I think between like 16 to 18 years old or so, so they weren't necessarily the official Love Boat. But if you had gone like the year, like my freshman year in college, if I went to the same program, I would have been put into the older category, which would have been Love Boat Taipei. So like it is definitely one where I feel like there is some sort of like personal connection with me, so I feel like I'm really excited to read this book just to see like how closely it aligns with my own experience with the program in general. And I don't know, like I'm just curious. Like the one I did for my freshman year in college, the second one that I did was actually a Chinese, like a Mandarin intensive one where we just learned Mandarin. I don't remember like doing any like trips, but the first one that I did was, I want to say it was like a month, and the first 2 weeks it was more like intensive. We did like different like activities, like besides learning just Mandarin we also did like some traditional like handcrafting things, like crafts, like arts and crafts, and then for the next 2 weeks we just did like a whole like tour around Taiwan. So we went to like all the different cities and some of the countryside, stayed multiple different places, and that's why it's called Love Boat Taipei if you were in the older one, because you're literally just going on vacation, just very too little, like very like little to no adult supervision. So you know, things happen, so that's why it's called Love Boat Taipei. But yeah, anyways, I'm just excited to see like how this will closely resemble my own experience, and yeah, anyways, that's why this book is on this list. Then this next book is Fix Her Up. This is another one that I have heard a lot about. This is another romance, so I'm very excited to just read. I feel like 2022 might be when I start shifting more towards romance because I have a lot of books, like a lot of romances that just been calling my name every time I look at them, and now that I have like my own place finally, I feel like I can actually just like sit back and like relax and read books. And I couldn't really do that before because there was just so many like commotion in my house. But yeah, we'll see. I'm like excited for this one. Again, I've heard great things, and I want to say it's steamy as well, so hopefully it's steamy because I do like when there's a little bit of smut in there. Then this next one is yet another romance, and that is the Bromance Book Club. This book just sounds so funny. I feel like if I remember correctly, it's basically about these guys who decide to like come up with like a romance book club for all of them, just to kind of like get more like insight on, you know, women and their like line of thinking. And I don't know, but this book sounds so funny to me, and I've heard good things about it in general, and there's like many books in the series as well. So yeah, like I am very excited. All right, this next one is one that I am finally hoping to pick up this year, and that is Kingdom of the Wicked. I know this book has been out for so long. There's been multiple books in the series. I want to say the whole series is finished, so maybe I'll binge read it this year. I have no idea, but I'm excited. I do want to read the first one and hopefully like get into the trend of this book finally, like understand what everyone's like hype is about, because every time I have like those like book subscriptions and they have, you know, like fandoms from this series, I'm like, I don't know anything about the series, so I feel very left out. But hopefully this year I will change that and I will read it this year. Then this next one is Raybearer. This is another one where a lot of fandoms I feel left out, but I've also heard good things about it in general. And there's also a sequel, and that's all I know about this book. But yeah, I'm excited for it. The cover is also really colorful. It's very pretty, and you know how much I love my covers, so I definitely cannot wait to read this. Then this next book is King of Scars, and I know I got the book like signed everything when it came out like in New York City with Leigh Bardugo, and I still haven't read it yet. I even got the second book in the series, which I think is just a duology, so hopefully I'll binge read the entire series as well. I have no idea, but I really need to get on with reading this book and just go back into the Grishaverse. They're even filming the second season right now on Netflix, so I'm very excited to just kind of like go into it. And this book just basically follows Nicholas a lot more, so I know that they just cast him recently, so I'm just kind of curious to see like how this series, and I don't know if the TV series will like, if there's gonna be any like resemblance or anything taken from this duology. But either way though, I feel like I want to read the series and then read this book at least, and just at least kind of understand what's happening. Hopefully, we'll see, but I'm very excited for this one. Then this next one is She Who Became the Sun. This is a book that just came out this past year, but it has taken the internet by storm. I have heard so many things, like so many rave reviews about this book, and I just want to see for myself how great this book is. Then this next book is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is one that, I mean, honestly, Riley Sager is definitely an author where I have enjoyed all their books in the past. I literally read a few of them by this point, and I've enjoyed all of them. Like, there hasn't been a book where I was like, it sucked, or like I saw this coming a mile away, it was super boring. Like, no, this is not the case. Riley Sager and Simone St. James are probably my two favorite like mystery thriller authors right now, just because every book I've read from them have been amazing, and I really hope that this will be as well. Then this next book is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. This is a book that I am very excited for because I just read The House on Cerulean Sea and I fell in love with it. It was so good. Like, the writing and style was amazing, that I really hope that this will continue onto this book. It's nothing related, like this book has nothing to do with the first book that he wrote, but I'm just like kind of excited to see like how this will be, and if the first book was kind of like a one-shot wonder, or all his books will be like that, because it was just phenomenal. Then this next book is Iron Widow. This is another book that has taken the internet by storm. I've heard so many good things about this book. I am excited for it because it's also set in China, so obviously there is like Asian representation in here. So overall, I'm just like excited for this book, and definitely cannot wait to see like why everyone has been raving about it and just see it for myself. The next book over here is Vespertine. This is one that I'm very excited for. Margaret Rogerson is definitely a must-buy, must-read author for me, so obviously I cannot wait to get my hands on this book. Actually, I already have this book, but I cannot wait to actually open it and read it. And it helps that I have a stunning Fairy Loot edition as well. So anyways, I'm very excited for this one. The next book over here is Malibu Rising. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and obviously at this point Taylor Jenkins Reid is definitely a must-buy, must-read author for me. I have very high hopes for this book. Like, her books definitely, like, there's just a few authors I feel like somehow their writing, they're just able to like capture the essence of the characters so well, and Taylor Jenkins Reid is definitely one of those authors, because her characters have just always like been so fleshed out that you can't help but feel so connected, like emotionally connected to them and so invested with their story. So I'm very excited about this book and just can't wait to see another masterpiece, hopefully by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Then this next one is Plain Bad Heroines. I put this on here because I've heard like multiple people talk about it and it just piqued my interest. I want to say this is like dark academia with like mystery thriller vibes. I'm not entirely sure though, but I just heard some people talking about it that definitely piqued my interest. So I even got an audiobook of it, so we'll see how that goes, guys. But I'm excited for it. I feel like I've been hearing about it for the past year or so, that like I don't hear about it often, but when I do hear about it, it's like rave reviews. So I'm invested now. Definitely cannot wait to read this book. Then this next one is Skin of the Sea. This book, first of all, the cover is stunning. It's literally like West African mythology meets Little Mermaid, I believe, and I'm really excited to see how the two will mesh together and just like follow the story and the writing and the characters. So okay, then this next one is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I am more curious about this book than like, this is why like this book would not be on my 5-star prediction, because I'm not going to go into it expecting 5 stars, but I do want to read it because it's by V.E. Schwab and because her books are honestly a hit or miss for me. So I'm just curious to see like if I will love it or if I will not love it, because this first series I read by her, oh my god, what is it called? It's the one with the red London, the black London, the white London, all that stuff. That series, I actually did a whole dedicated reading vlog on it. I'll link that above and down below, you can check it out. But that series was like ups and downs. Like I was like, some of them I was like amazing, some of them I was like, oh my god, kind of sucked. And then I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I actually really enjoyed. And I still have to read her other books like Vicious and Vengeful, as well as the monster books. I don't remember what they're called, but it's like a duology. I have the books as well. So it's just like there's a lot of books by this author that I feel like there is a lot of potential for me to really love, which is why this book's on here, because I'm just like, every time a new book by her comes out, I'm like, there's so much hype and I need to know if that hype is legit or not. And yeah, I'm curious. Then this next book is The Atlas Six. This is a book that, again, I've heard so much. Like I feel like Book Talk like literally sprung this book out of nowhere. I never heard about it until one day Book Talk kept talking about it. Or no, I didn't even hear on Book Talk. I heard it from like Book Twitter and Bookstagram and like BookTube because about Book Talk. So it's just like, I'm curious to see like why everyone's loving this book and if it's like worth the hype. But yeah, like we'll see how this goes. But I am getting a copy of it soon, so we'll see. Like, will it live to this hype? I don't know. Then this next one is Jade Fire Gold. This is one that is just been talked about a lot recently. I know Madison read it recently and she really adored it. So I have really high hopes for it. We'll see how this goes. The cover is also really pretty and it is Asian representation. So I'm excited to see if it will live to this hype or not. But the next two books are actually by the same author, and that is House of Sky and Breath, as well as A Quarter Silver Flames. These are two books that I am hoping to pick up this year and actually read it, because I still haven't picked up A Quarter of Silver Flame, even though it's been out for like a year or so now. And yeah, I don't know. It's definitely because I've been worried about loving it too much that I don't have enough patience for the next book. So I've been holding off on it, but this year I'm hoping to read it as soon as possible. Then this next book over here is Jade City. This is one that I'm very excited for. I've heard so much people talk about the series in general. I just want to read the first one, at least, at the very minimum. Maybe I'll binge read the rest of the series, who knows. But either way though, I'm very intrigued by the series or the book. I just know that it has something to do with, like, it's either set in Shanghai or Hong Kong, I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that it's about jade, obviously, and how there's like the magic is like revolves around the use of jade, or whoever owns like the jade mine or something. But we'll see. Like, I'm really excited for it and cannot wait to see if all the hype is warranted or not. Then this last and final book on here is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This is one that has been talked about a lot recently in the past few months. The cover is absolutely stunning. It's about Chang'e, which is the Chinese moon goddess, so I'm very excited about that. I don't really know a lot about this goddess. I haven't heard too much in books or movies or anything like that. I've only heard about it recently, so I'm just excited to see like how this book will play out and how the author will portray Chang'e in this book. So anyway, these are all the books that I am planning to pick up for this year for my top 22 books. I would definitely try to sprinkle these books in throughout the year, and hopefully I would not do what I feel like I tend to do this. It's just jam pack in the last like few months. I'm like, oh shit, I haven't read them yet, and then I end up just reading like all these books. But my goal is kind of like insert them whenever I can, you know, whenever I have like TBRs for like readathons or whatever, just like insert them slowly in here throughout the year. So anyways, I'm very excited for all these books. Let me know down below if you have read any of these before, and if you have, what you guys think about them. But as always, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. And if you'd like to see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below, as well as hit the notification bell. And as always, feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.